What's going on, everybody? I want to thank EA Sports for allowing me to participate in this event, and what I'm bringing you right now is official screenshots from Madden NFL 19 franchise mode. And what we're going to take a look at is some of the players. Right now, you're looking at Carson Wentz, and as we all know him as Walker to him Wentz, Shannon Shaw from Undisputed, shout out to that show right there. What we're going to be doing is looking at some of the actual inputs and how they made it easier for us to upgrade players. Now, I haven't played franchise in over a year. I took a year off from it because what happened was the people that I had around me that was doing it, it kind of got crazy and we had to, like, you know, disband it. For Madden 19, it is possible that we're going to have a franchise going on for GmiasWorld, so stay tuned for that information. But I want you to take a look at the new depth chart, the way that they have it set up. It is a lot easier and simplified. So, for instance, right, we're going to look at his superstar rating right here, right? And more than likely, this is probably where he's going to start off. When we get to OBJ's rating later, it looks like OBJ may have been upgraded. I don't think that they're going to start OBJ with that overall rating, but looking at right now with this reveal, Carson Wentz is probably going to be about an 86 overall. I don't think they're going to start him lower because he was going to be the MVP until he got hurt. And remember, the man left throwing a touchdown in that game. So I think he deserves at least a minimum of an 86 overall. So you see the superstar status. It's the same kind of numbers and things like that, but they give you more information about it. They make it easier. Like, for, you know, you can remove him as a captain. It's different type of attributes that they show there. Looking at Derrick Henry, I'm kind of surprised he's only a star though. You know, he goes from star to superstar. They still have the same things like slow, quick, all that stuff like that. But, you know, I guess it kind of makes sense, though, because they didn't really utilize him in the run game as much because they had, you know, what is the other dude that came over from the Murray? They had Murray over there that came over from the Cowboys a couple years back. So it was like a dual back system going on in Tennessee. But you could look at it. It is going to make it so that you could kind of set the tone for your team. If you want to set him as a captain, bam, set him as a captain. His stats and the contracts are right there. You could try to reevaluate his contracts. Makes it a lot easier. You can view him in the depth chart, trade him away, add to the trade block, and it gives you some of the premier things about him, you know, with the player archetype. Like right there, it's just right there for you to look at it and see what's going on with it. And the main thing that I really like is that it's all right there for you to do. In previous Maddens, you would have to go all over the place. In my opinion, Madden 25, I just want to see how they upgrade the way the attributes are, because Madden 25 had a really good system. Once you got them to Superstar, the way that they upgraded, it was very, very efficient, and I really, really like that. They took away some of those things in 17 and 18 as far as like the speed in which you could add attributes to the player. We're going to wait to see how they're going to be doing that system, because we have more deep dive information coming about franchise mode the week of June 11, 2018. So once they reveal that, we'll know. But here goes the overall I was talking about. This is what I was really excited about, because this makes me want to actually, you know, if I have an open draft, I'm going to go after OBJ. Obviously, we know he's a superstar. He's been riddled with injuries over the years, but looking at his rating right there as a 95 overall, that's pretty serious business right there. So if you were going to draft, like if you were going to do regular teams, I would probably go with OBJ and the Giants, because obviously you're going to get Saquon Barkley also. So this team, you could probably build, trade away some other pieces. I don't know. I would keep OBJ and Saquon Barkley unless I was able to get a trade for, like, you know, maybe Julio Jones somehow. Obviously, it probably wouldn't make sense early on because Julio Jones is older, but depending on what Julio Jones' rating is going to be, you could probably get a little bit more from it. It depends. You know, it's probably going to be a wash. It also depends on how the height matters in Madden 19. Remember, Madden 15, height was very, very essential. 16, with the aggressive catch when it was introduced, the height didn't mean as much. So it was, you know, sort of like you're just looking for speed. Madden 17, they had the swerve in it, so it didn't, it would be better for you to have somebody with height, but you didn't need, you know, people with height. It would be easier with speed. So looking at all of his things right here, you see like how he has a little bit more of his archetype. It's easier for you to understand more about what this player can bring to your team, which is, it's unbelievable. And again, right now, he's not even a captain, but you could set him as a captain, excuse me, and make sure that you have him, you know, like I said, you set the tone for your team based on the player. Now, what you're looking at right now is the actual, you know, in-screen depth chart. A lot of it is still similar. Obviously, if you move to the right of the screen, you'll see stuff like, you know, the person that owns the franchise, all that stuff, and all the teams. But you can actually now see vertical zone run. You can see the actual scheme fits. You see what I'm saying? Like, if you're building your team for specific schemes, you can actually see the team fit. Everything on the top is showing you like your week 1, week 2 schedule. You see your coach still in the top right. You see his level, how many, how much XP he has and stuff like that. They still have kept it simplified where you can actually, mix and match your players, move them out of the way, put certain guys in position without having to go out of this actual depth chart in screen and go to like the old-fashioned looking at just the names. So this was actually easy because this was going on in Madden 17 also. Okay, so this I'm glad that they kept this format because it's easy to just go through your team right here, hold the button, mix and match, put plays where you want to put them, and you could see everything and more information about it. More easy. Like I said, they're looking to make it easier so that way you can see everything without having to go to another screen. Same thing in MUT, which I've already discussed in the previous video. All you got to do now is just click on the player. You can see if they can be upgraded, different things like that. You don't have to go out of it, go to a set, go to a different thing. So as far as the efficiency of the way it's looking, it's going to be a lot more formidable for use going forward within the Madden 19 franchise in setting your depth chart. Looking at this right here, see, this is why I know. See, this rating seems pretty reasonable for Dak Prescott. A lot of you guys gonna be like, yo, bro, Dak is better than that. Look, I don't know. You see what I'm saying? Zeke Elliott got hurt, and then it was like, yo, what's going on? You see what I'm saying? Like, if you're that guy, and I know what you're going to say, he didn't have the weapons and stuff like that. I understand all that, but there's other teams that don't really have the weapons that make it happen also. And I think they still had a formidable offensive line, and Dak really wasn't able to get it done as much. So that's why I'm thinking that they gave him an 82 to start, and he's only a quick. So he has to go from quick to star to superstar. So if you go with the Dallas Cowboys, you are going to get Zeke Elliott. Witten is gone. There's not really a lot of stuff going on with the Dallas Cowboys. But if you are a Dallas Cowboys fan, the most essential thing you're going to have is Zeke. So you're going to probably have to keep him. I don't know how much more you're going to be able to trade away, but you might have more cash available than other teams because Jerry Jones didn't really do a lot in this offseason. So that'll be a plus if you go with the Dallas Cowboys because people are going to always go with Dallas. It is what it is. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's just the name. The Cowboy name is always going to be that Cowboy name. So right here, you see that he is a captain, and that's automatically set. You can remove him as a captain if you want. I don't see anybody else on the team right now that you could make a captain other than Dak Prescott. So, looking at his overall, you're going to have to work him up. He's only a 2-year player. You're going to definitely have him in a 99. It depends on how fast you can move him. I got to see what they do as far as the training goes and how quickly we can get him to superstar. But he should be a 99 within like three seasons, in my opinion. Because like when I want to go hard on somebody, like, to make sure that I get them to a 99, I focus all my training on them. I make sure they get all the XP. I go into my, my coach's schemes, make sure that the quarterbacks are getting all the double XP, triple XP, whatever it is, and keep it like that. Right here, what you're looking at is the actual schemes. And you can see they've made it very, very easy for you to understand exactly what your schemes are supposed to be and how it contributes. You can look at the offensive scheme, the defensive scheme, the playbooks, and you can look right to the right and see what it does. You see, in previous Maddens, they wouldn't have it like this as simple. Now you can see, okay, you want to do vertical zone run? All right, here it is right here. You got an 88% scheme fit. You can look at your overall team and see exactly where they are with it. Obviously, when it's all green, that's really, really good. If you're missing out on stuff as far as your left guard, you could go up to the halfback. You'll see that it's a little bit different with the way that it is. So you have to be very, very focused on what you're actually mixing and matching with. So it makes it easy for you to see exactly what you need to make your team better. So as you go forward within the franchise mode, they have made it a little bit more simplified overall with the coaching scheme. So you see everything on one page and you don't have to flip back and forth, or they don't just show it to you. Because in the past, they would just show you the actual scheme and then you would just, it'll be a little summation about it and you wouldn't really be able to see it all in your face like that. And then this screen right here is just very, very, it's like, wow, you're in his office. You see what I'm saying? Like, they're giving you that feel as a real coach. This is what it is. Draft day, this is what you're looking at your computer like, yo, oh, that dude ran a 5 what? All right, that guy's out of here. You're looking at your draft board. You're able to assess it and understand it more. So they have given us a little bit more. I know a lot of you guys have watched the interview about franchise and you feel like they haven't done enough for the franchise mode. In my opinion, like I said, they've put a lot of work into it based over the last couple years. It looks like they've added a little bit more. Now we just have to wait to see exactly how it all comes together. Like I said, I preferred like Madden 12, 13, 25, that upgrade system, because it was much more efficient in my opinion when you put more work into it. They went away from it in 17 and made it slower to upgrade the players. That right there, if they're able to add that in, it'll make it a lot easier for me with my decision to do a franchise. All right, so if they add what's necessary to it to make it upgradable faster for the superstars, and the guys are able to get enhanced a little bit better, I think franchise mode is going to be unbelievable. If they keep it slow, it may deter my situation of really starting a GmiasWorld franchise. So let me know in the comments if you'd be interested in it. I'm only going to be selecting a few people that I don't know. Other than that, everybody else that I already know will be part of the franchise. I want to thank you guys for watching. Enjoy your day. GmiasWorld. One love.